case for your community or for your district. And so we've been funded by a few private foundations to develop some technology and to produce that and prepare it. We first did it for the statewide redistricting process last year, and now we're doing it for both the city and county of San Francisco, as well as the city of Los Angeles and LAUSD. So that's who we are as the Advancement Project. The technology that I'm about to show you is actually based on a system, a mapping platform that we built 10 years ago. This system is called healthycity.org. It covers the entire state of California. It's like Google Maps, but really made for community use. Google helps you find Starbucks or Target or Chinese food, I guess. But our system actually really supports the ability of people to find out what are the demographics in any neighborhood in the state, what are the economic needs, what are the services available, all that good stuff that we need to do good planning and advocacy, you can find on healthycity.org. But what we did is we took this very large platform and we pared it down just for the things that are necessary for redistricting. And that's what this system is, Redraw SF. Okay, as I mentioned, we just launched it today, so it's live and ready for anybody to use. It's free, and it's actually designed in a way to really ensure community members can kind of jump right in and start drawing lines. So let me show you guys what it does very quickly. You go to redrawsf.org. You'll see here that you have two options. You can draw your lines, or you can view district maps. I'm going to go ahead and jump into draw your lines, and it'll automatically generate a map of the city and county of San Francisco with the current district lines. What you'll be able to do from here then is simply roll your mouse over any one of these districts and you'll get detailed information. You can't see it from this far out, but it will give you the exact population. It'll give you the population broken down by race, as well as owner and renter, how many folks own and how many folks rent in any particular district. Okay, again, you just simply roll over any part of the map, and so I'm now looking at District 11, and I can actually see sort of what those stats are for District 11 in a matter of seconds, actually. And for people with iPads, it actually does work on your iPad as well. Okay. I see people firing up their iPads already. So, underneath the map, you'll always see this chart of all of this information. This is the information that we've been able to compile from different sources, the Census Bureau, as well as the statewide database. The other nifty thing here is that you can click on any one of these variables and it'll automatically rank every single district by that particular variable. So you'll be able to see which district has the highest concentrations of Latino, African American, so on and so forth. So that's the way to see what's going on in each district, and then it can allow you to actually come into really redrawing some of these district lines. I'm actually going to go through the presentation and take questions afterwards. And so what you can do is use this drop-down menu, pick any district. I'm going to go ahead and pick District 11. It'll zoom into District 11 and give you all of the blocks that are involved or part of District 11 currently. What you can then do is say, well, I want to redraw this district, but I want to look at some of the planning department's neighborhood lines. So you can actually hit show other boundaries, and currently we have planning neighborhood boundaries as well as the elections department neighborhood boundaries. You click on any one of those and it'll actually layer those boundaries right on it. Okay, you can use those as cues of where to draw and add and remove, so on and so forth. The thing to note here underneath the map is that it will always have the total population for that current district. Not only will it have the current population of that district, but it'll also show you a green line of where you want to be in terms of the ideal population. So you can actually see, given this chart, and again, it's a little hard for those in the audience, but maybe folks, when you get online, can see it better, is that in District 11, you're a bit over in terms of the ideal population. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and go to the remove section of the map here. Then I'll actually go ahead and just start drawing right on the map. And it'll actually remove that section of the district. I'm not proposing anything. I did this last night in my pajamas. So it took me 2 minutes just to show you guys what it does. I am not proposing a thing here, okay? But What happens as soon as you draw these lines, the data will automatically reorganize itself to those new boundaries, so you can actually test and play with different models. You could say, apparently, cutting the west side was a bad idea, so what about shaping a little bit from the north or what have you? You keep playing with it, and immediately as you do that, the system will automatically play itself out. Okay, the data, it'll give you the exact data. Okay? Boy, okay. So, the other stuff that you can do is you can actually edit more than one district. You can hit add new and actually keep editing District 10, District 9, so on and so forth. If you wanted to do so, you can do all 11 districts. If you really wanted to nerd out, you could download the equivalency file. But most importantly, you can save your boundaries as you're doing the work so that you can come back to your work later on. It's fairly simple to save your boundaries. You just go ahead and hit save and you give it a title, you give it a description, and off you go. Okay? The other thing that you can do is, in preparation for your attendance to one of these meetings, you can actually turn it into a Word document by hitting report, and it'll actually create a Word document with that map that you created and all of the underlying data. Okay? You can also email this directly to the task force. There's an email to button that you'll see, and it'll come directly to your very professional mappers here. Okay? Beyond actually doing the work yourselves, you might also want to see what the task force is up to or what other community members are up to in terms of their thinking around redistricting. So you can go to view district maps at any point. They're on the right. And you'll see a map gallery of, let's say just this afternoon, I pulled from the site what were the existing boundaries as of 2001, and then the boundaries as of last Wednesday, January 4th. And so you can actually see the working draft. You click on that, you can actually, again, see all the data for all the new boundaries drawn, so on and so forth. Okay? Though we've made it extraordinarily intuitive and easy to use, and iPod friendly, because apparently that means something here, we also know that some support is necessary, so we'll be actually conducting webinars, online ways for you guys to learn in 30 minutes how to use the site fairly effectively. Our first is scheduled for this Friday at 11 a.m. We'll record this webinar and actually make it available online so you can actually revisit that at any time. We think we'll be doing some additional webinars, but we'd like to work with the task force on the best timing of those. And also provide in-person trainings up here in San Francisco. I think tentatively we're looking at the end of January, very beginning of February, to offer a couple of in-person trainings where our staff will actually be available to walk you through the site and answer any questions that you might have. Again, the dates and locations are to be determined. We'd like to work with the task force on that. And finally, we will have ongoing email user support, so you can email questions and one of our staff will get back to you. So with that, I'd like to conclude my presentation.
John, thank you so much. Again, we really appreciate the commitment of the advancement project in making this really great tool available free. We're really, really grateful for that, so thank you. So we'll begin first with questions, if there are any from task force members, and then I would invite public comment on this particular item, and if in the context of your public comment you have a question, certainly we'll entertain that as well. If you are interested in public comment and or a question on this item, and for all of our items, I'm going to ask you to form lines to my left, your right, and there is at the end of this table a handheld mic. Unfortunately, we don't have a stand, but there is a handheld mic there, and we will use that for public comment. But again, we will begin with questions if there are any from members of the task force. Mr. Sharp.
Thank you. I really appreciate you making this available to us. Is there information available on this at the census block level? Or does it only show up as you actually move lines?
It currently only shows up as you move lines, so yeah, we don't currently have it available by blocks.
Okay, so we would need to refer separately to census block data to inform the changes in lines that we wish to make. We couldn't just click on a block to see what the numbers are.
No, that's right. That's right. So you currently wouldn't be able to click on any block to see that.
Okay. Thanks.
Mr. Pilko.
Thanks. A couple of quick questions. Does this system require someone to have email?
It does not.
Great.
If you wanted to email your plan in, you would need to have email, but otherwise, it's not required. All you need is a internet-ready computer.
Okay, so the submit to the task force, that does require?
That, because it's an email to task force, so yeah, it would
Okay.
require email.
But you can still play with it and save your own thing,
So
print it out?
play with it, and actually print it out as a Word document and come and actually submit directly.
Okay. The presentation that you just made, is it possible to get a copy to Kay so we can put that up on the website in case someone wants to see that?
You currently have 2 copies on each of these computers, and I can believe are...
Okay, so we can put it on our website. Can you explain somewhere on the site or wherever what an equivalency file is? I think I understand it, but I'm one of those geeky guys. I gather that it's just a table that sort of relates FIPS codes or census block stuff to a district, but to sort of explain that and maybe have a sample somewhere.
We'll look into that.
Okay, and just finally, and I think this is to Andrew, if some of us participate or watch the webinar on Friday or in the future, is there a problem with the number of us that participate in the webinar? Just checking. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think that's the only way to interact. Right.
It'll just be broadcast.
Yeah. Okay. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions?